Have you ever opened your charts and felt like something was off, even though nothing obvious had changed? Your setup is there. Your rules are there. The structure looks familiar. The confirmations are present. Yet, internally, it feels different. It feels uncomfortable. It feels uncertain. So you hesitate. You reduce your lot size randomly, not because your plan says to, but because your confidence quietly dropped. You skip trades that meet your criteria. Or worse, you override your plan completely and take something that was never part of your system. This right here is the moment most traders break their own edge. Not because the market changed, but because their emotional state shifted. You start checking Twitter to see what other traders are saying. You zoom into lower time frames, looking for extra confirmation that was never required before. You search Telegram groups. You compare charts. You convince yourself that today is not normal, that something about this session is different, that your strategy might not work in this condition. And slowly, without realizing it, you stop trading your plan and start trading your feelings. In this video, we are going to break down why this happens psychologically, why the market sometimes feels different even when it is not, and how professional traders maintain trust in their system, even when uncertainty rises. If you have ever doubted your own plan mid-session, this conversation is for you. The illusion of different. Most of the time, the market does not actually feel different because structure changed. It feels different because something inside you changed. Maybe you just had 2 losses in a row. Now every setup feels slightly suspicious. Maybe volatility increased a little, and the candles are moving faster than you are used to. Maybe you just watched someone on social media flip a small account into something dramatic, and now your own progress feels slow. Or maybe you are simply tired, emotionally fatigued, mentally stretched, overexposed. The market is objective. Your nervous system is not. Price moves based on liquidity, participation, and probability. Your body reacts based on perceived threat. And when recent outcomes do not match your expectations, your brain starts searching for danger. The human brain is wired for pattern recognition. It wants consistency. It wants repetition. It wants safety in familiarity. When outcomes vary, even if the setup is statistically valid, the brain interprets that variation as instability. So when you say the market feels different, what you often mean is that the outcome distribution is not matching your emotional comfort zone. You are not reacting to price. You are reacting to uncertainty. And uncertainty is the one constant in trading that most traders never fully make peace with. Why traders abandon their plan? When that internal discomfort rises, most traders do not consciously decide to abandon their system. It happens subtly. It happens psychologically. There are 4 major triggers behind this. First is recency bias. If you just experience 2 or 3 losses, your brain gives those losses more weight than the hundreds of trades you backtested. Your long-term probability suddenly feels irrelevant. Your mind zooms in on what just happened and assumes it will continue. Second is outcome attachment. You stop thinking in probabilities and start thinking about this specific trade. You want this one to win. You need this one to work. That emotional pressure distorts your execution. Third is emotional contamination. Your mood begins to leak into your analysis. If you are stressed about money, about life, about comparison, you start seeing the chart through that emotional filter. Neutral candles begin to look aggressive. Normal pullbacks begin to look dangerous. Fourth is social comparison. You see other traders posting profits. You hear about someone building a house or flipping an account. Suddenly, your steady process feels insufficient. You begin to question whether your edge is strong enough. When your confidence drops, you start negotiating with your own rules. You tell yourself, maybe I will enter a little earlier. Maybe I will close a little sooner. Maybe I will skip this confirmation just this once. And slowly, your structured system becomes emotional improvisation. Professional traders do not trust feelings. They trust data. They understand that feelings fluctuate. Statistics do not. What feels different really means. When you say the market feels different, there are really only 3 possibilities, not 20, not mysterious forces, just 3. Scenario A is that market conditions actually shifted. Volatility regimes change. A trending market transitions into range. Liquidity dries up during certain sessions. News increases randomness. Expansion turns into compression. These are real structural changes, but here is the difference. Professionals verify shifts. They do not assume them. If you suspect conditions changed, zoom out. Review higher timeframe context. Has structure broken in a meaningful way? Has volatility expanded beyond your tested parameters? Is the session historically choppy? Check data before you adjust behavior. Scenario B is that you are trading outside your edge. This one is uncomfortable. Sometimes the market feels different because you are forcing involvement. You are bored. You have been waiting too long. You want activity. So you start labeling average setups as high quality. Your plan has clear criteria. Structure must break. Liquidity must be taken. Confirmation must form. But when you are restless, you start relaxing those rules without admitting it. The solution here is simple but strict. Check every entry criterion. Is everything present exactly as defined? If even one element is missing, it is not your setup. The market is not different. Your discipline is. Scenario C is the most common. Nothing changed in the market. Only you changed. You are tired. You did not sleep well. You are stressed financially. You increased your risk recently. You are thinking about bills. You are comparing yourself to another trader. Your nervous system is overloaded. And when your internal state shifts, uncertainty feels amplified. Most of the time, when traders say the market feels different, what changed was their emotional state. That is not weakness. That is awareness. And awareness is power if you use it correctly. How to trust your plan again. So, how do you rebuild trust once doubt enters? You do not rebuild trust with motivation. You rebuild it with structure. Step 1 is return to your backtesting data. Open your screenshots. Review past identical setups. Look at the trades that followed your criteria perfectly. Look at how they played out over a large sample size. Confidence does not come from positive thinking. It comes from evidence. When you see that your edge works across 100 trades, 2 recent losses lose emotional dominance. Step 2 is reduce size, not standards. If your nervous system is overwhelmed, lower your risk percentage. Cut exposure in half if necessary, but never lower your entry criteria. Never weaken confirmation. Risk can adjust. Discipline cannot. Many traders lower standards instead of size. That is how accounts slowly bleed. Step 3 is follow process over outcome. Stop grading trades by profit or loss. Start grading them by rule adherence. Did you follow structure? Did you wait for confirmation? Did you respect your risk management? A losing trade executed perfectly is a professional trade. A winning trade taken emotionally is a liability disguised as success. You rebuild trust in your system by executing it consistently, not by waiting for a perfect feeling. Feelings fluctuate daily. Execution builds long-term stability. Your trading plan was created when you were calm. It was built after backtesting, after journaling, after reviewing structure, after thinking clearly. It was designed by the most rational version of you. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. If you override your plan when you are emotional, which version of you is more reliable? The calm, analytical version that built the system, or the anxious, reactive version that wants immediate certainty? Most traders sabotage themselves because they trust their feelings more than their preparation. Trusting your plan is not about confidence. It is about discipline. Confidence is unstable. Some days it is high. Some days it disappears. Discipline is neutral. It does not require emotion. It requires commitment. The market will compress. It will expand. It will spike unexpectedly. It will retrace deeper than you prefer. It will move in ways that challenge your comfort. None of that invalidates your edge if your edge was built on probability. Your edge survives variance. Your ego does not. Your ego wants to be right. Your edge only needs statistical consistency. When you confuse the two, you suffer emotionally. When you separate them, you grow professionally. Before you assume the market is different, Ask yourself a few honest questions. Did I backtest this setup enough to understand its true probability distribution? Am I reacting to one recent outcome instead of a large sample size? Am I financially overleveraged to the point where small losses feel threatening? Am I trading because I see opportunity or because I feel uncomfortable doing nothing? These questions are not meant to judge you. They are meant to ground you. If you cannot trust your plan, either your plan is not properly tested or your emotions are louder than your statistics. And in trading, statistics must always speak louder than emotion. The market does not feel different. It is always uncertain. Uncertainty is not an event in trading. It is the environment. It is the baseline condition. Price is never guaranteed. Outcomes are never promised. Variance is built into the system. When you understand that uncertainty is constant, you stop interpreting it as danger. Professionals accept uncertainty as part of the job description. They do not expect comfort. They expect probability. They do not look for emotional reassurance. They look for rule alignment. Amateurs resist uncertainty. They search for certainty inside an uncertain environment. They want confirmation beyond their plan. They want the trade to feel obvious. They want the outcome to feel safe. But safety in trading does not come from prediction. It comes from preparation. You do not need the market to feel safe. You need to feel stable. And stability comes from trusting the version of you that built the system, not the version of you reacting to short-term discomfort. If you have ever doubted your own system because of a few losses, this message is for you. Comment one word: discipline. Not for me, for you. And subscribe to the Daily Trader Mindset if you are ready to trade from statistics, not sensations.